Hey everyone, Chase here with the Furball Fables update. Well, my goodness, have we had a rough month. So that's why you haven't heard from us for all of December, I think. It all started when my Mr. Coffee Maker broke. A little thing I know, but a big thing for me. Coffee's important in the morning. Later that day, I noticed that Merlin was having some trouble going in and out of the cat box. Never a good sign. I continued to monitor and I could see that he was using the box, but eventually I saw some blood. So we had to go to the vet. I had seen Merlin drinking a lot of water, so I suggested we do a glucose test on him. And unfortunately, we found out that he's a diabetic. That's complicated because he's on a very special diet and he takes prednisone every day. And at this time, that is still a work in progress. More on that later. I've had other stupid human stuff happen. My favorite thing was when my car door broke and I couldn't actually get out of my car. For a whole day, I had to have people open my car door for me. And yes, I realize it's very comical, but at the time it wasn't very funny. And it was expensive to fix. I also was in charge of the social media for a Santa Claus event in my local town. I've been part of this committee for about 5 years now, and it's always a lot of fun to do. Suddenly everyone went missing this year, and no details could be pinned down. Since I was the public voice for this event, it was very, very stressful, especially while having a sick kitty. 3 days before the event was supposed to happen, Fairy Princess stopped eating. To say that my anxiety level was pretty high is an understatement. She was drinking water, but she just refused to eat. I tried everything. I gave her baby food. I gave her tuna fish. I opened a zillion cans of food. But she just wouldn't eat. The ho-ho-ho event went okay, and there were some lovely, lovely highlights, but I was so worried about Fairy. We went to the vet the following day. She screamed her head off the entire way there, the entire way in the waiting room, started purring as soon as she saw the vet. The vet gave me all the worst-case scenarios. We did some blood work, and guess what? It was perfect. They gave her some anti-nausea medicine and some fluids, and $450 later, we were out the door. She screamed all the way home, and then as soon as we got home, she ate like there's no tomorrow. I had now, in the span of just 8 days, spent $1,200 of my savings. It was going fast. Next up, of course, was Elfin. I noticed some blood on the kitchen floor, and I couldn't figure out what it was at first. Eventually, I noticed that Elfin's paw was bleeding and that he had a nail that was going into his paw. This does happen with older cats, and unfortunately, I am unable to cut his nails by myself. So, off to the vet we went. I knew he needed blood work, so we got that too while we were there, and that was another $350. Sure enough, the foot was infected, and if I'd waited any longer, it would have been a lot worse. He came home with the cutest little bandage, and I tried not to laugh at him, but it was so adorable to see him try to walk in it. Of course, this was it a half hour later. Our wonderful vet called me the next day with the results of his blood work. I was very nervous because I've seen him drinking a lot of water, and Elfin was not ever a water drinker. But lo and behold, it was perfect! Yay! Merlin's been to the vet a couple more times. He had yet another UTI. We're still adjusting his insulin. I need to see an internist, and I need to learn how to monitor his glucose levels. It's 3 days before Christmas, but we seem to be on the other side of it. Paws crossed and fingers crossed. I've started my Meowy Marathon cat sitting, so I've got some money coming in. My schedule is really nice, and I get to see a lot of really fabulous cats. Here are some of them. And I realize that this is what life's going to be like with 3 senior cats now. All of them are 16 and a half. What an amazing journey I've been on with them. I'm brainstorming some new ways to bring in money. During all this, I've been working on our other Etsy shop, I Vote Cats, and you can expect to see some more voting and election stuff from us in the beginning of the year. Wow, I bet that was a lot to take in, but I just felt like I needed to explain it to you folks, our friends here on YouTube. We're good right now. How's everyone else doing? Wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a beautiful new Mew Year. Big hugs, lots of love, Chase, Merlin, Fairy, and Elfin.